All right, good evening, everybody. I do believe we're live. Let me double check on my device here to make sure that the stream is coming through loud and clear. So much experience with streaming software in the past. Looks like we're good. Looks like we're coming in loud and clear. You know something, Kuman. Indeed, Kuman. Let's go ahead and turn on that stream bot. All right, and we got an uplifting intro here. Let's go ahead and roll the intro. I will be back very shortly.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. Take it easy, you are full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. Take it easy, you are full of life. Just cause a day is a day, it doesn't mean it's okay. There's always trouble in your life. Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Easy when you're full of life. Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. Take it easy, you are full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. Take it easy, you are full of life. Just cause a day is a day, it doesn't mean it's okay. There's always trouble in your life. Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Easy when you're full of life. Yeah, 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 yeah. Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life.
I hope all of you are staying fresh out there. Stay fresh, chat. A lot of staying fresh over here. A lot of Mentos fans. Big fan from the Midnight Show. We love our Mentos. All right. Welcome everybody officially to the Midnight Show. It is June 18th, 2020, and you know something. I'll have to upload it. I'll have to upload it. Let's see what else. What else can we show off here? I've been working on a few things here and there. Let's see. I have this as well. I'll have to upload these both. It shouldn't take too long, but I'll get this going and we'll get this show on the road. Probably not literally, because getting the show on the road usually sucks. There we go. How are you all doing? Welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I hope those of you who are in Atlanta are enjoying the little bit of democracy that has brought the world to the way it is. You know something. You know something. This is the world you voted for, remember? That's what I'm going to keep bringing that up until the end of time. No, remember? Democracy. You voted this in. that means you can't complain. That's what all of you guys say about California. Not all of you guys, right? But all of the California detractors, the haters, the A-logs, the anti-Californian rhetoric. It's man, it's kind of like the whole thing's a lie, isn't it? That we really don't have control of anything. Almost. If I didn't know better, I'd say the whole thing's a charade. Anyway, we'll have this new thing picked up here in a second. This is what democracy looks. What is that chant they say? This is what democracy looks like. And the Chinese guy comes in and goes, "This is library." Classic clip. You know, while I'm waiting for this to finish, there's no other way to kill time than to watch something cringy on the internet. Here he is. Blessed Cairo.
Found him, and when that fight broke out, he was ready for it with his trusty katana.
I actually carry this because I've become a little bit more dangerous without it than with it. So it's more of a restraint mechanism than a safety blanket.
The fight had been going on for about 20 minutes. It was 2-on-1. None of them saw Cairo Seijiro move around behind them.
To them, they probably thought I was just moving out of the way, but I was actually setting up to where their blind spot was. If he had gone on me, I was planning to go in completely, drop the sword down, and then completely cut it, completely gape him open. The sad truth is that they weren't even a challenge. I already had a full 5-stage plan ready to take everyone out. And anybody else who got involved, just in case. That's just the way I do things. This is about what you saw on the train. It's folded, tempered, and it does its job. My family couldn't handle me. I had a surprisingly strange affinity for sharp objects, particularly kitchen knives, when I was a kid.
So he traded in the knives for a lifetime of studying the sword. The katana goes with him everywhere.
While you people were going to bars and getting laid, Cairo Seijiro was studying the blade, and now you have the audacity when the barbarians are at the walls to ask for his help. Well, God needed a weeaboo samurai, pretend samurai, so he has been tragically taken from us, sort of like the white George Floyd. Rip Prince. Alright, so I'll start off with this one, because I feel like I'll probably forget about it whenever it comes up organically by reading chat or whatever, but I have a nice little graphic for the news show. The uploads that I do that are basically The Onion or Babylon Bee. But we have this here.
About like the universe and politics. What the fuck is the matter with you, man? Do you even watch this show? Don't you want to have deep conversations with your wife? Yeah, I can definitely imagine that. Me and a female are gonna sit down.
I know, I'm in disbelief too, Nick. I can really believe that, chat. Nick Fuentes and a girl. I haven't had any drinks yet, but you know, I've still got leftover. Last time I was on stream. So what normally happens, chat, is I just drink when I'm on stream, so I typically have some leftovers because I'm a lightweight. So I sent you a Catboy video. Yes, we will definitely watch that. Let's dig into this last one. It's a bit of a bump. It's not very long, but I found a new section of my video editing software, so I said, ooh, let me crank out a few things.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon, order, a new age. Aquinas spoke of a mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we
will be crowned as kings. All right. I am so proud. Now officially we're done with the intro, but we will check out that Fuentes clip that One Step Too Far provided us. So officially, now, welcome to the Midnight Show. Let's switch over to the other overlay that I've been utilizing, and of course, live from Chaz. Not the right one. Live from Chaz. There we go. Filming from a street corner. Who knows what we might see tonight? You never know what'll happen in Chaz. But it's been a fun night. I apologize in the lapse of uploads the last few days. I've been working on the script for the new show, and it's fairly long. Like, I'm thinking it might end up be something like 20 to 25 minutes long after I'm done with it. Now, the thing is I don't like things to linger past their welcome. I know it's ironic from me, but I might trim it down to like a brisk 15 minutes, but I want it to feel almost like a program you would tune into on maybe Adult Swim if it was still decent. All right. Yeah. Apply to a thing. It's the important thing about streaming, and I don't think a lot of people take this into account. You have to properly balance your regular life and streaming. You can't go all in one way or the other. And with that, I think I have video to bring up. TC donated $50, dude. Thank you. Holy shit. I was like, oh, we had a donation here real quick. There's no message, but I appreciate it, man. That's very generous of you.
Are you aware of that?
And also we had where it be second year. By the way, I'll turn up the music after So big shout out to the people who make a lot of the smaller clips, the things that help break up the mundane parts of the stream. This is a 9-minute stream, so maybe we'll have or video, so we'll have to maybe come back to it, but we'll watch a little bit of it now. But yeah, it's always good to have these the people who are nice enough to not only make little entertaining clips that most people don't really see because YouTube buries stuff, but they just hand you free fucking content, and you know it's really nice of them, and we appreciate it. Just been seeing some of this anti-archive channel rhetoric going around the mill lately. You know, the one moment it's this channel is great to help find the more interesting parts of our show and promote it to an audience that doesn't want to sift through hours long of content, right? Which is a lot of people. And they just do nothing but benefit the show, because even when we do something stupid, it gets eyes on the show and more people tune in. They used to say that, but now it's you're making money off of me. You know, maybe that works if you're somebody who's monetizable. But if you've been somebody who's been censored or vilified, identified as a wrong thinker, somebody who's been canceled on the internet, typically going out of your way to archive their stuff isn't profitable. In fact, it might be counterintuitive in the pursuit of money. So I love seeing all the people trying to have their cake and eat it too. Where they'll say on one hand, this person's really beneficial to me, and then on the other hand, but actually, I'm the fucking real deal here. I'm the pole here. I'm the one putting bread on their table. You know, if you have to come out and tell people that you're feeding a person to try to pat yourself on the back a little bit, you're probably not that virtuous to begin with. Just a thought. You know, if a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I'm fucking broke. Can you buy me some food?" I wouldn't tell anyone about it. First of all, I wouldn't want to shame that person because they asked me for help. The last thing you want to do is make them feel bad about asking for help, because as a friend, a person is supposed to feel comfortable with asking you for help. But second of all, you shouldn't be trying to utilize that situation to inflate your already gigantic fucking ego. So, anyway, Who am I talking? Who knows? Who knows? Really, here's the fucked up part, is I'm not even speaking about anyone in particular. It just sounds like it probably lines up with a few people, doesn't it? Sad. Absolutely sad. All right, so let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. This is on One Step Too Far. Or it's One Step to Infinity and Beyond, to be precise. A different channel. I'll drop the link there. And let's see what we got going on.
ESM if you want a real red pill. I don't think I will. No, I think I'm good on that one. What kind of super chat is that? What the game ESM? You want the final red?
Okay, bro. That is absolutely gonna... I mean, that Mentos song might... I don't think it's in the copyright system, but I recognize that drum blast. I recognize that. So yeah, this one I can't quite play. It'll get blocked. Then people won't be able to watch the stream later. But maybe we can find another one we can check out. There was a shorter one I think you showed me, right? That one's...
Become an action star, and he's been bragging about some of these roles he's been taking. And he got this role
Is that
he's
Red
been
Bar?
bragging about for a year. Netflix's You season 2. The show is called You. It's very confusing because I'll be walking around the house and I'll go, I love you.
Somebody was telling me about this
I love
show.
you. And I'll go, no, the show you fucking bitch. And then push her down the stairs, and then it's
Push her down the stair. Oh man, she wasn't gonna watch 007 with him. It's absolutely sad. I'll send it to me with no music. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. But I did turn the music on. So what are we going to talk about tonight? So just some funny things I came across a little bit earlier. So first, it's a smaller story. We'll start off with this. On Reddit, an epic Reddit moment, I believe is what this is called. Our free speech. As a black man, I feel like Black Lives Matter are becoming bullies and are actually hurting the black community by segregating us even further, creating racial divides. Removed, deleted. Get the fuck out of here with that racist rhetoric, you Uncle Tom. Blown the fuck out. Removed, cleaned up, swept the fuck up. That is what we call an epic Reddit moment. Someone slipped the chains. Yeah, well, you know, I don't understand why we can't... You know, if we're going and canceling George Washington, right? They're canceling George Washington. Destroying monuments to George Washington because he was a racist. I know, I've never heard that before, too. I'm surprised thoroughly. But they spray painted things like colonizer and racist, and this guy owns slaves and all of that. Completely refusing to acknowledge that all nationalities had slaves, including their own. But just this guy's an evildoer. But if we can cancel George Washington for being racist, why can't we cancel the Democratic Party? They marched in fucking Klan robes. That doesn't make any sense to me. Atlanta PD Zone 6 is completely weaponless. Expected to be torched later today. Yeah, Atlanta's on fire. Well done. Well done, Black Lives Matter. Well done. What the music? One of those. Check your Streamlabs. Yeah. Alright, before I do that, though. I poured out a shot. I saw you in chat, Davey. Always a pleasure. Good working with you as always. I'm gonna tinker with some things. We'll see what we can get going. But here's bud. Alright, no worries, man. We'll watch it a little bit later. Here's the archive here. As a black man, I feel Black Lives Matter are becoming bullies. And this keeps getting removed. There we go. Reports are now being ignored. Our rules are in the sidebar. If you wish to report this for breaking a rule, please comment below with what rule you think it breaks so the rest of the community can mock you. Very, very epic epic Reddit moment. Leave that on screen here for a second. So we had the 10 bucks from Davy Crocco 3. Said hey, and the clip from Chris D'Elia. The guy, to those of you who have never heard of him, I am only vaguely familiar with him. I saw him on an episode of Workaholics playing a pedophile, and it turns out he was known for another role as a pedophile. And so to me, I could just see it in my head. This guy comes in, just looking like wearing a fedora, probably. Comes in, sits down. They go, something? We have a role for you. Fuck. What is it? It's not manager. It's agent. Your agent told us about you. So we got you a role as a pedophile because we think that's exactly what kind of person you come off as. And there you go, bud. And then later on, they go, hey, call that guy back in. We need somebody to play a pedophile, and we can't think of anybody that fits the role any more than you. Make sure to bring your fedora. Funny stuff. Kevin Duggan with $5. The government gave them concrete Jersey barriers in Chaz, and Raz has special government issue night vision scope. I don't even know what to say about Chaz, man. If you ever needed an example that there is a clear double standard, there it is. Try to start a humble cult with some close family members and some friends. Next thing you know, you've got tanks rolling over the place, right? Try to raise a family on your own property. The FBI comes and guns you down on your own property. Kills everyone except you and your daughter, right? Fucking FBI. I never forget this, chat. The FBI saw a woman, an American woman, on her property running with a baby in their arms, and this FBI agent, I forget his name, goes, target acquired. Boom! Fucking shoots her in the back. Boom! Shoots the fucking baby. That's who's, who we're supposed to be out. Oh my god. The police might get defunded. You know what? Fuck them. Definitely defund the FBI, but you know what? Let it just fucking fall apart. Let it burn. Let it fucking fall apart. Because this system sucked anyway. And you know something, as bad as it is now, it's gonna have to get bad before it gets better. So, it's the way shit goes. I hope everyone can stay safe. Kevin Duggan with $5. The government... Yeah, I did read that. Okay, that was my response to that. Creeperman Creeps with $5. Every time I hear Chaz, I think of the one dad from Rugrats. That's right! That's right. Forgot about Rugrats. What's that clip with the FBI guy? Shit, man. I don't know which one you mean, but if you mean the guy from Ruby Ridge, I can't remember. Oh, that was... Yeah. Anyway, epic Reddit moment. He's no longer... This man, hey, look, you're not saying the things that black men are allowed to say, so... Sorry about your luck. The baby didn't die at Ruby Ridge, but okay, so they shot the wife, right? But she was carrying the child. You see, I thought they shot both of them, but it was just the wife, so the baby made it. Hey, look at that! FBI, it turns out you're not a baby killer this time. Pat yourself on the back for that one. You earned it, buddy. I'd say that Raz is a Fed because you can't buy that scope without the Feds knowing about it. I think that's entirely possible. This guy was also, I wouldn't say a prominent or successful robber. I'm going to turn the music back down a little bit. But he had a little bit of momentum in that area, and we all know how well maintained the entertainment industry is. It's insulated entirely from grassroots independent content creators, entirely. It's all a big club, and you and I, chat, you and I aren't in the big club. We're going to create our own fucking club, man. Our own club with blackjacks and hookers, but they got to be tested 3 times a day. And I'm not touching them. But the blackjack part, I'm not gonna play blackjack either. But I want my own fucking club. Okay, I want my own Illuminati. We're gonna build our own Illuminati. This is gonna be fucking sweet. That's all I got for now. We're gonna build our own Illuminati. No girls allowed. No ladies will be allowed. I am not living in a fucking sausage fest, folks. That isn't happening. Look, boys, y'all are cool, right? But there's something that a lady provides that isn't just her that is beyond just what she provides on a physical level. You gotta have the ladies around. If you don't have the ladies around, what kind of fucking ship you running here? No, it's a really cool place. We got our own Illuminati. We got our own like master base, mother base. This place is called Outer Heaven. It's pretty sweet. One drawback: literally no women. You know what? Send me back to California, okay? That's just my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. 20-second clip of Delia being yeah, it's Delia, right? The Chris guy being a hypocrite about keto homophiles in your DMs. Yeah, let's take a look, man. I haven't watched Mouthy Buddha's latest video. I haven't really been watching anything on YouTube lately. No joke, have just been leaving everything off when I come home. I might turn on some music. Was getting down to some Hall & Oates earlier. Hall & Oates chat, do you like them? Anyway, yeah, I should probably check out that link. Looks like Chaz, you know, the drop zone, I forget what they're calling it, but it looks like it's pretty chill there today. Nothing has been getting into me. I have been staying very fresh. Very, very fresh. Looks like we got something here.
Text, but I don't understand.
So here's my experience with this guy too. Well, not firsthand, not like directly, but a friend of mine. I only know him as the guy who played a pedophile on Workaholics. That's what I know him from. But a friend of mine was like, "Hey, have you heard of this guy? This Chris Delia guy. Never heard of him." He's no, you've seen Workaholics, right? The episode where they meet up with that guy from the internet who ends up being a pedophile. Oh, yeah, that guy. So I'll admit, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because if that's the thing I know you from, I don't know, kind of creepy. And then it turns out it's true, chat. It's true. It is true. I mean, I know you can go the bitch was lying route, but oh wait, no, it's a YouTube. Yoink. There we go.
Wow. The text, but I don't understand that these guys text these things to who they think is a 13-year-old. You know, I could be put in jail if the police found out we were intimate. Sin criminate.
That is the worst thing to text someone.
Yeah, because that means that, okay, so you know,
yeah.
What you're doing is really bad.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy is insecure when he gets caught, dude. It's unbelievable.
Ooh, canceled. Get him canceled, chat. He's the Owen Benjamin of comedy. Ooh. He also played a pedophile in a Netflix series called You. You see, I streamed with Davey earlier and we talked about this a little bit. I didn't know that. Turns out that in a Dexter clone TV show, he was also an actor that played a pedophile. I can't imagine he was going after these roles. Like I said, I really think that he just walked into his casting director's office and they said, you know, you remind me of a character that we're looking for right now. He's a pedophile. You ever, you know, you roll that way? You know they wouldn't judge. You know they wouldn't judge. This is Hollywood we're talking about. Alright, so we got Reddit banning African Americans with ideas that they don't really approve of. We also had $10 from Always Lost on Nothing Else. Donation 143. If you're gonna burn it down the American way. I can get behind that. You know, it's only through disaster that we can be resurrected. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. Don't worry, I'm only ironically Durden posting. It's nothing you need to be too concerned with. Anyway, Tucker Carlson, they're trying to cancel the Bowtie Man. The Bowtie Man. And to be fair, I'm like 50-50 on Tucker. I think he has some really good monologues. Like, even if he is insincere, it's very well delivered. He's good at doing what he does. From the perspective of an artist. You know what I mean? Like, not saying he's a journalist or a reporter. From the perspective of somebody who just sees what he's doing as just an art project, I think he does it well. Yeah, I am catching up with chat. I do see that Ruby thing with Ruby. Come on, 75-25? No, yeah, okay. I'll give you 75-25. Because every time I do see a clip with Tucker and he's going on a point, I just go, fucking bravo, man. Fucking go. 100%. And most of the time I feel like it's stuff that I've wanted people to hear myself. Things I wouldn't be able to properly articulate in that fashion, let alone on that level of a platform. So I do like Tucker. The Creeper Man creeps with... No, that just... Why is chat, like... See, Davey's not the only one having issues here tonight. This thing's fucking with me pretty hard. Keeps sending me the same super chat a few times. Catboy hindsight clip. Okay, so we'll watch that. We'll watch this clip from one step too far, and then we'll take a look at Aunt Jemima getting canceled. Also, a CIA cyber weapon stolen. Bumblebee CEO going to prison for scheme to fix tuna prices. And yeah, sure, everything's on the up and up. Everything's good. Here we go. Here we go.
MTM says, look up gay BDSM if you want a real red pill. I don't think I will. No, I think I'm good on that one. What kind of super chat is that? Look up gay BDSM if you want the final red pill. No, I don't think I will. I don't think I'll do that. No, thank you. I think we are content to just not look at that. Are traps gay? Yeah, traps are gay. I've always maintained traps are gay. Of course, you have sex with a man, it's gay. There's no getting around that. Now that said, look, it's gay. I get it, 100%. I agree. Now that said, it's, we're in times where women are not really meeting their obligations. So I'm not saying you're not. Look, if you have sex with a trap, you're gay.
Does anyone else feel like this? He's making the argument for having sex with other dudes in prison. You're like, yeah, we don't have any women around, It's, like, sure, a little bit of it's dominance, but, the women aren't exactly there to fulfill their role. It's kind of how this comes off to me. Bro, the only reason you're not getting any women is because you're not going out there and getting the women. Here's the thing. Fuentes is quite the character. Women like character. You can say it. You can say the same word 1,000 different ways, but the ones that you say with a little bit of a funny twang or something, that'll get them to laugh. The average person. Not every woman's gonna buy what you're selling, chat, but just, I don't know, be a bit of a fucking goof. Don't be afraid to be goofy. That would be my advice. But women aren't exactly fulfilling their role. How many broken relationships have you been in, Nick? You can't say that women have failed to meet their obligations when you have 0 long-term relationships on your belt. 0. You could even be right in general. But let's be real, if you're trying to hang out with hypothetically hang out and fall in love with a cat boy live on camera in front of the world and in front of fucking God. If you were to do that, the premise of females not living up to their goal, that's just, what do they call it, a moot point? Anyway, we'll let him continue. Go off, King.
No doubt about that. And you should be ridiculed, you should be made fun of. But it's a little bit different than if you did it like 20 years ago, that's all I'm saying. If you in the 1960s were banging a trap, I would say, what's wrong with you? Like, I would say that now. I would say, well, you're some kind of sick freak. We have all these beautiful girls, and they're normal, and you have sex with a trap. What's wrong with you? But in 2019, it's like, well, it's different. It's a different circumstance, different options. You're still disavowed. I disavow. It's condemned. It's gay. It's all that. But it's just different. I think everybody understands that. But I'm still disavowing it. I'm just saying we just have to have a little. We just have to have a little nuance. All right. It's just a different times. All right. Or take a bunch of cash from her wallet. I have it under control. I just need another fix. All right. Hit me up with a super chat, pee pee poo poo. Yeah, it's a lot of broken lives, very sad stories, right? MT says, so did you check out that gay BDSM for a red pill? Can't say that I did. Yeah, can't say that I googled gay BDSM to get red pilled like somebody suggested.
Can you say that though? Are you sure you can't say that? Because it said it sounded like if somebody were to go in and edit out can't say or didn't say, then maybe you did say that. This is funny. I'm getting a kick out of watching this. Thank you, by the way.
The other day, people, Google. I love when people are telling me to Google. How about you just read? Why don't you just read the books? You know what? On second thought, the books aren't so bad. I was counter signaling the books the other week for getting red pill. On second thought, the books aren't so bad. I was counter signaling the books the other week for getting red pill. And now people are telling you straight up, yeah, watch this deviant pornography to get red pilled. You know what? The books don't sound so bad anymore, right? Maybe that's the way to go. What kind of super chat is that? Look up gay BDSM if you want the final red pill. No, I don't think I will. I don't think I'll do that. No, thank you. I think we are content to just not look at that. Are traps gay? Yeah, traps are gay.
Okay, I think it's starting to repeat itself. Thank you, though. That was a good laugh. Chat, we truly do live in a society. I thought for a second we didn't live in a society, but there it is. Right in front of us. In front of God and everybody. Okay, DBSM. I don't think I will, chat. I don't think I will. You know what I'll do? Instead, I'll Google based in red pilled, and I think it would come up with the same exact results. Oh, wait, hold on. You know what? Delayed laughter. I can do this. You see, I have, unlike Nick, I have hundreds of dead people clapping at my command, like a fucking wizard. You hear that, chat? You hear that? Those people don't actually find anything I did funny, but they laugh anyway. You can stop now. See, that's the thing. I can't cut it off. They just keep going. Okay, there they go. You have your own gator. Well, where we're going, we don't need gator. Now we share the soundboard. I like how we brought that into the mix too, because normally it's something that's really annoying as a person watching a stream is when one of the streamers has a soundboard, but you give it to chat, and for some reason it's like handing the reins over to the proper person that really knows how to work it, even though it's just chaotic. It's pure chaos. I love every second of it. We do it better. You guys do it better. Noodle's doing well. Where's she at? Kobe. She's been growing still, like, long ways. She's been growing. She's a big ass cat. Like, her limbs are long. Like, her arms and legs are long. I swear that, like, part of me is thinking this is like Mountain Kitty or something, and half tiger or some bullshit. Fucking huge. Have you ever seen the machine they used to for canned laughter back in the 60s? It's pretty interesting. No, I can't say I have. Oh yeah, the Oakland stuff. I saw a little bit about it. I saw that it happened, but that was about it.
We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children.
3 feet long mountain cat. No joke. I think lengthwise, she's probably closer to like 3.5 feet long. Like when she stretches out, because she walks kind of scrunched up a little bit, but like when she stretches, she is tall. Cat. Am I watching Atlanta? I've been seeing that other people are following it. I still have fatigue from the fucking riots, so I decided to just do a hangout stream. Is it just me, or is the chat like posting the same shit like multiple times on screen? Here, I'm gonna fix that, and then we'll move on to our next topic. Final red pill. And alerts folder. Now, where is the? That's the real. There we go. Yeah, I see it like doubling up. I don't know why it's doing that, but get a window capture. I already have chat up on a second device. That's the one. Just another second here, chat. There we go. So yeah, it's not the other one, but I think this will do. Studio mode. Save resources. Boomer. Pick Mark's wrench. What do you do? What did he do? Okay, you can only stream the final red pill on D Live. Funny fact that the final red pill is really just the greatest story never told, but somebody went in there and used computer graphics to put cat ears on all of the Nazis. They only did it ironically, though. Whining. Oof. Oof. You're about to get swept up, bud. About to get swept away. We're gonna sweep you all up. Let's see here. I got this thing on Twitter. TV News HQ. TV ratings Monday, June 15th. Fox News was America's #1 cable channel in total viewers. Top shows: Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, The Five, Ingram, Angle, Maddow, Brett Baer, Martha McCallum. So as you can see here, Fox News Center. We have Tucker Carlson leading the ratings at 4.1. I think that's million. Whereas on CNN, playing empty fucking airports across the nation can still only manage to get 1.73 million on Cuomo at 9 p.m. On MSNBC, however, Maddow is able to hit 2.748 million. So, you know, well done, folks. And this is the reason I even bring this up, is because this is in the wake of Tucker Carlson's advertisers getting targeted. Maybe I didn't have something for that to be brought up. So that's really all there is. But let's get into this one right here. I might have to zoom out a bit so you guys can see it. Here we go. Churchill was a genocidal racist colonist who intentionally killed millions of Indians in the middle of World War II. Man, you know, for as often as I've heard about a certain cost, I've never heard of millions of Indians being racistly murdered by Churchill. Really weird. But this guy, he has a verified check mark, so you know what he's saying is true. But he goes on here. If people actually wanted to honor the leader who defeated Nazism, it'd be Stalin. But they'd never build a statue of him, ever, because this isn't actually about World War II. Yeah, you know, the guy who killed 10 times more people than Adolf Hitler. That's who we should honor. Brave, stunning insight from the Peanut Gallery. Oh, don't you love these revolutionaries? Now, here's another story that's been going out. So apparently Black Lives Matter used George Floyd's metaphorical corpse and literal corpse in one case to raise millions of dollars, and they only spent like a fucking fraction of it on grants for African Americans. I'll bring this up. Somebody posted this to R the Donald, so take it with a massive fucking grain of salt. 1,000 Currents audit for 2019 shows that as of June 2019, the organization held nearly $3.4 million in net assets for Black Lives Matter. It had released nearly $1.8 million to the group in the last fiscal year. The audit also provides a breakdown of how the foundation, referred to as the fiscal project under the statement of functional expenses, according to De Rivera, spent that $1.8 million in buckets, in food buckets, probably, including on consultants and salaries. 95% spent on payroll, travel, consultant fees, and various administration costs. Only 5% went towards grants. It says here, has it all broken down. Yeah, consultant fees, $829,000. Damn, that's a lot of money to just pay people for bullshit. Yeah, I gotta get one of those jobs, chat. Alright, what else we got? You guys, well shit, here we go. Well, as you are all well aware, we live in a fucking simulation of a society. It's all a fucking dream. We live inside a dream. The Onion tweeted about Aunt Jemima's removal hours before the announcement. Satirical newspaper The Onion appears to have been onto something, as the outlet tweeted about the removal of breakfast food mascot Aunt Jemima hours before it was announced that she would be removed from products. This is from another satire website, but this is probably after the fact. Babylon Bee: activists fight racism by driving all people of color out of pop culture. And it's funny because that's actually it. I don't understand what's racist. Like, maybe Aunt Jemima was based on an employee of theirs that was really dedicated to the job. It's not even a racist thing. It's the person they're showing honor to, the individual. I don't get the logic that Aunt Jemima's racist or Uncle Ben's is racist. Does that mean that the fucking Jolly Green Giant's racist? Like, how long do we have to keep going along with this? Because I've been tired of it for like 3 years. I know you guys are tired of it too, and I bet your ass the average American, the silent majority, they're all fucking tired of it too. Shit, almost 25% of there. Hell yeah. Yeah, everything is problematic, remember? Everything. Just want to be able to enjoy the Jolly Green Giant and Uncle Ben's, Land O'Lakes. Pooh did nothing to nobody. You know, why do they gotta do our boy like that? Why do they gotta take Aunt Jemima out back and just lean on her fucking neck, just fucking put their knee on her neck for about 10 minutes until she was gone? She said she couldn't breathe. And he said, that's the point. We don't need you stinking up Aunt Jemima's name brand anymore. That's how this comes off to me. Now, Uncle Ben's next. Tell him to leave the fucking stove. Go ahead and leave the rice cooking. We'll send in a white woman to clean it or to cook it instead. Send Uncle Ben's back here. We need to take a knee. You know what I mean? Just all of these people just dragging all of these persons of color out of pop culture and just leaning on that fucker. And Uncle Ben's sitting there screaming, I can't read. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And no one gives a fuck. First, they came for anime. And I didn't care because I don't watch anime. Then they came for George Floyd. And I didn't care because that guy was a fucking maniac. A career criminal. Fuck him. But then they came for Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben didn't deserve this shit, okay, chat? Uncle Ben taught me. You know what Uncle Ben taught me, chat? Uncle Ben taught me that with great power comes great responsibility. His rice changed my life, okay? When they talk about the spice of life, they're talking about Uncle Ben's. They didn't need to do my boy like that. I didn't mean it like that. They didn't need to do my friend like that. Absolutely. What a disaster. What a fucking disaster. Then they came for Aunt Jemima. They came for everybody. Uncle Ben. Uncle fucking Ben. Wasn't enough when they came for Aunt Jemima. Wasn't enough when they came for Pooh. Wasn't enough when they at gunpoint made the Land O'Lakes chick walk the Trail of Tears yet again. But then they said no. Send in Uncle fucking Ben. And they fucking did him dirty. They let him be paraded around for years making money for these faceless corporations to give them the illusion of a home-cooked meal. But then when it was his time, when he was in his time of need, when somebody needed to stand up for Uncle Ben, I didn't hear about it. I wasn't around. I'd have came flying in there, slinging all sorts of fucking webs. But they, without my knowledge, took Uncle Ben back and leaned, like fucking took a knee on his goddamn neck. There are no words, chat. There are no fucking words. Our friend deserved better than this. I keep wanting to say our boy, but, you know, I forget he's black. Because I see him as an individual. A brother. But this is truly the future that Martin Luther King, you know, the king of black people. This is the vision he had in store for all of us. This is the one he would be, you know, this is the one he wanted. He wanted Uncle Ben out by any means necessary. And they're going to replace him. Malcolm X, Uncle Malcolm's. Actually, that'd be pretty sweet, honestly. No, I'm eating Malcolm X rice today. Yeah, the Sean King edition has, this one's garlic parmesan. I'm going to finish off this bottle, chat. There's one shot left. Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Never forget, chat. Never forget what they took from us. Never forget the future that was in store for us before they took Uncle Ben out back and took care of him. Capiche? Fucking rip. Fucking F for Uncle Ben's. What a disaster. What a fuck. Lots of F's. Lots of respect for Uncle Ben. Thank you, chat. He'd be happy. He'd be real happy for you. He'd be proud. What kind of fucking world do we live in anymore? He got the old. He did. He got the old Yeller treatment. It's just not fair. Life isn't fair, chat. That's what they would say to you. Life's not fair. Well, and what do you want me to do at this point? You tell me life's not fair, and you want me to make it fair? Huh? You know, the nice kneecaps you have. It would be terrible if you were to tell me that fucking life's not fair and I can't do anything to bring Uncle Ben back. You gonna tell me that even with all the powers of the universe, you can't bring Uncle Ben back? You can't see, but I'm shaking my head very, very sternly with a look of absolute disappointment. Alright, yeah, I don't know if I can do any more with that bit, but that's a... Yeah, but here it is, chat. Aunt Jemima to change name and image due to origins based on racial stereotype. So what's the fucking stereotype? That's what I don't understand. What's the stereotype? That syrup with a black woman on it sells better or it tastes better? So what is it racist to say that black people are better cooks? That's a positive stereotype. You know what? Feel free to say all fucking white people are great cooks. Hell yeah. That's a cross I'm willing to bear, chat. No, it sounds like they're just, you know, trying to whitewash culture. But do it real low-key like. I think it's a mammy stereotype. Well, I mean, I'm not going to judge a black woman for excelling at her craft, you know? Just... We truly live in a society. There's not much we can be doing to help alleviate that issue. He's way too busy. Yeah, let's that's a great place to like check shit out. Let's our co-conspirator here. See, I like that better. Co-host? No, co-conspirator. There we go. Accomplice. Go with accomplice. See what I was going to quote his friend Vox Day, but I kind of want to be an asshole right now. Dude, he's drinking. That's racist, Nick. I know you like to do blackface, but you can't be drinking grape drink like that, dude. Bruh. No joke, he was just chugging the fucking grape drink.
His first name.
Did I rewind it? I fucking... Holy fuck. Even by Nick's standards, this is a fucking boring stream.
I like the incredulous look.
What a disaster. What a disaster. I just like saying that because there's no other way of putting it. What a fucking shit show, chat. This is a somebody somewhere is doing something fucky. I don't know, chat. I have finally decided to press 1. It took me a minute. I wasn't sure if I finally was willing to embrace the foil pill. No, I said, you know what? I'm done. Pressing fucking 1, and I'm hitting that key so goddamn hard. You can hear it. You can hear it from outer space. It just keeps happening. Yeah, and keep in mind, the dead air was when I was watching his show to see if he was going to say anything. I don't know, man. I don't think... It's really weird to me that an internet lawyer would be so hesitant to cover a story where a person's fan base is getting sued by Patreon, a company that he receives money for, and his moderate... Here, I'll play the clip. The one take he did have was, this is kind of a victory. Well, how the fuck is it a victory? Is it a victory for you? Because you'll lose money if they go under? Or the people involved in the lawsuit hit the fans of Owen Benjamin? Who's it a victory for? Oh, it's a victory for Owen Benjamin because he seeks a fucking multi-million-dollar settlement. How does that benefit anybody? How does that make the rules for Patreon more clear? More fair? They didn't... Out of the gate, they were looking for a fucking settlement, which goes to show that he had no interest at all. No interest in trying to fight back the system. It was all about lining his pockets. And this should surprise nobody. But if there's one thing I thoroughly dislike on the internet with the different personalities is when they dangle over your face and the audience or whoever that, hey, don't you hate this thing that goes on, outrage culture, cancel culture? Well, believe in me and I can make it go away. It's what's implied. It's never made explicit, but it's out there in the air. You can feel it. That was the joke. Rakita's dead air even when he's talking. I don't really dislike Rakita, right? He's been entertaining on a few occasions. And in a way, I wanted him to succeed because I wanted to get to the bottom of this Vic story. I wanted to find out what the truth really was. Because the truth is somewhere in between. It sounds like Monica Rial and him had a falling out. I think it has less to do with any predatory behavior on Vic's part and has everything to do with a bitter fallout. Vic is gay. He absolutely comes off as gay to me. He's probably bisexual, but he comes off as gay to me. I will say, I've never said that out loud, but he does. The truth is in the Bible. I'm kind of with you on that, Fish. I mean, like I said, I don't thoroughly dislike him, but I really dislike watching him for something. I mean, when PPP was on recently, that was some good shit. That might be my favorite Rakita stream. He's by a significant margin. I'm trying to remember the one thing I did enjoy of his, but it was still, even when I was watching, I'm like, this is fucking boring. Even though I'm interested, this is like reading a textbook where you're interested in the material, but the presentation's really fucking off. Anyway, I have this clip. Oh. Trying to think of how I'll play it. I can just play the audio because I don't have the video uploaded anywhere. So I'll just play it through VLC.
Vox Day, I believe, and Owen Benjamin. Interestingly, they're actually suing
There we go.
Patreon, but Patreon had an arbitration clause. Then what Patreon did when Patreon got the bill for like millions of dollars, said, we're going to quickly change our terms of service to have the arbitration clause that was mandatory the entire time that all this was going on. We're going to now make that not mandatory because California changed their rules on arbitration and Patreon would have to pay up front their entirety of their fees before getting to the arbitration itself. And so they tried to go back in and change their arbitration clause after this suit was brought because they were about to get absolutely bent over the table on fees, which is great. Because remember, they forced all of us to accept that arbitration clause until it bit them in the ass. But yes, we'll be talking about that Patreon suit. Like, Patreon flat out, I won't say doxed, but they dropped the full names of their own customers to a court.
It's a lawsuit.
And roughly where they live.
It's a lawsuit.
To say they're following your rules of arbitration and it's mean. Oh, it's good. It's good.
See, that goes, it's good. It's good, chat, that all of the fans of Owen Benjamin, the 70 plus Bears, are having to, they're on their own dealing with this. It's good, he says, because it fights Patreon a little bit out of spite. So who cares who gets caught up in it, even if it affects his own fucking wallet. He's that short-sighted. But more than that, he hasn't even paid he's either willingly blind, like refusing to look at certain things, and he's already come to the conclusion he wants to come to, and he's going to find data to support that conclusion. It's either that, or he's completely just unaware. He hasn't even looked at it. Because if you look at it, Patreon is suing fans of Owen Benjamin, 70, I think, 2 of them. Originally, it was going to be like 100, I think. And what it appears to allege is they say alleged comedian or something like that, Owen Benjamin, was utilizing his fan base to attempt to extort them by demanding a settlement up front. For some reason, even when contacted by multiple people on Twitter, he's too busy to look at it, too busy to talk about it. And in fact, on his stream today, he had Spectre on, a guy who I'm only familiar with from posting on Kiwi Farms, from him posting on Kiwi Farms. I do think he has a YouTube show, and I don't mean any disrespect to the gentleman. I don't know much about him, so I couldn't shit on him or praise on him one way or the other. I do believe he has a show, though. But he's more prominent in my mind from posting on Kiwi Farms. And they were talking about something I was unfamiliar with to some degree. But the fact that that clip was from Friday. We're approaching a week later, and he brings on, no respect or disrespect when I say this, Spectre, he brings on a nobody, as much of a nobody as I am, talk about something no one cares about, when there's this massive lawsuit. And then when he did have a comment on it last week, it is so woefully misinformed. Didn't even bring up the fact that there is an extortion allegation in there. Didn't bring up that a fan base was involved. Just, Vox is suing Patreon. How cool is that? How cool is it that a benefactor of mine, a way that me and hundreds, if not thousands of creators on the internet make their money, how cool is it that Owen Benjamin's going to try to bankrupt them so he can get a $3.5 million settlement? How cool is that, chat? I'm going to look at chat, because I've been looking at this for a minute. How cool does that sound cool to you, chat? Does that sound like something that's going to benefit everything or everyone? Or does it sound like something that could potentially ruin the livelihood of thousands of people just to line the pockets of Owen Benjamin? Because that's how I see it. That at the end of the day, no matter who pays for this, it's going to be his fans. 72 virgins. Fuck, right? 72 virgins. It's going to be his fans paying for this, even if they are gullible. The amount of trouble he's essentially getting them into. And they don't even get a cut. It's his $3.5 million. Now, he is technically on the chopping block for this. Vox isn't. Nah, man, I don't think this is a boring topic at all, I'll be honest. And we are almost done with me saying my piece, but I'm going to finish my thought. Yeah, I just wanted to catch up with chat here. Fuck Patreon? Well, think about it like this. Compared to all of the other websites like Patreon, whether you agree with the way they apply their rules or not, they are far more lenient about banning people than Owen Benjamin is. So to hear him complain about it, it's fucking rich. All you gotta do is say a comment that is misinterpreted once and you're banned for life, he says, gleefully, as he furiously types out your name. This is bad. And even if I might disagree with some of the things Patreon has done, what I would consider bullshit bans of certain people and then allowing other people, like what I consider to be double standards, I don't see how banning somebody is means for a lawsuit. I don't. I do think it's bullshit, but if somebody has a club, right? Say you have a club, and it's the only club in town, and somebody keeps coming in making an ass out of themselves, making a joke out of your establishment, you would be within your rights to kick that guy the fuck out, right? And you might disagree with it as a patron. Then you'd be like, that guy wasn't that big of a problem, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that's their fucking club. And I hate bringing in the technical private business argument, but we don't want the government involved in this. You realize how much worse it would be? Name one time the government has done anything good. One time. Our government. Good. We're not talking about doing things well. We're talking about doing things good. Like Superman does good. A lot of our citizens right now that serve in the armed forces living on the fucking streets. That doesn't seem too good to me. I could go on and on about how we've all got the shit end of the stick. I'd be preaching to the choir, I'm sure. We've gotten the shaft year after fucking year. I've been to the DMV. You've been to the DMV. Do you think those fuckers should be in charge of moderating the internet? Or moderating crowdfunding? That's a bad road to go down, chat. And as much as I would agree that YouTube or Patreon isn't exactly the same as a local club or something like that, that it's a little bit different, I would apply the same level of logic because that seems consistent for what I believe in. That if I had a platform and there was just, if I had Owen fucking Benjamin, the shit that guy gets into on stream, you know, I kind of, not that I would support it, but I understand moderating that asshole into oblivion. Because he's a fucking madman. He's probably going to get somebody killed if he hasn't already gotten somebody killed already by telling them to drink fucking turpentine. It's a tricky position to be in there. But to say that this guy has a fucking solid lawsuit and anyone should be cheering this on? No, this isn't, and by the way, this is no defense of Patreon, because they have done some shady shit, and I don't approve of everything they've ever done. But if you were to ask me who was more shady, Patreon or Owen Benjamin, by far. By far. Like, I can think of a handful of people deleted off of Patreon, but it's not nearly as vast of a list as the people banned from Owen Benjamin's chat. Not even close. It would pale in comparison. Anyway, Bane Trump with $5. Thoughts on Trump letting Democratic cities burn to avoid fascist optics versus letting a kid keep throwing a tantrum? What's a happy middle? Thank you. Man, I think a lot of people are unimpressed with his approach. If this is how... I think he likes to sit back and play the victim. That's one of his major strategies, is, oh, woe is me, the Democrats are out to get me, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much his whole playbook. So I think that's all he's applying here. I don't think there's a fourth dimensional chess or whatever. I don't think this is him trying to let it burn intentionally so he can be like, see what Democratic cities lead to? Because he's going to get blamed for it anyway. They're going to be like, look at how impotent he was. He didn't take action. He didn't do anything. Because if he takes action, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. However, there is that old Art of War quote where it is, a real warrior knows when to battle and when not to battle. And I don't want to give him too much credit, but this could be an instance of saying, hey, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Me not doing anything would be the best course of action. And I couldn't disagree more. But this fucking dude is on Twitter spamming, copy and pasting Law and Order on Twitter as if it changes anything. Meanwhile, people's lives are ruined. Millions are unemployed. The economy is absolute shit. And remember, he took credit for the economy before everything went to shit. So it was his responsibility, and it was something that he took credit for before everything went to shit. But now that everything went to shit, it's, oh my god, everybody's out to get me. You know what I mean? Trying to have his cake and eat it too. So he's a credit when everything's going good, but when everything goes bad, it's all the Democrats' fault. What's the TLDR on Owen Benjamin? Well, there is a very well done documentary that would scratch the surface done on Owen Benjamin. It's called Smarter Than the Average Bear. I think it's still up. It's out there. It's done by a guy named Porcelain. Good lad. I like him. I like his content. I would start with watching that if you have time. It's very well produced. Top tier YouTube content. But it's hard to summarize, right? Because there's a very particular, like, downward spiral this person goes through that illustrates like a fall from grace, from being involved in the entertainment community, you know, being on Joe Rogan, being on Crowder, and the next thing you know, you've got a fucking unkempt beard, you're drunk, playing keyboard on your porch because you won't shut up about the fucking moon landing. I mean, dude's a character. The dude's a character. Not a character you'd ever want to fucking run into, but he's an absolute character. Anyway. See, and by the way, as much as I would love to go, because I do understand wanting to ban Owen, because I do think sincerely that he's a danger to himself and the people around him. I see him and I go, that motherfucker needs help. And I'm not even fucking with you, chat. Like, I'm as serious as a second heart attack. I hope he can find peace within himself. And more than that, I want there to be a happy ending for Owen, where he kind of just, holy shit, guys, I had my head up my ass. I thought I was like a cult leader. I had this huge delusion. I need to go away for a while and be a good dad. You know, there's nothing more that I would like to see than this ending with an Owen redemption arc. Him just deciding, you know, all this is stupid. I just want to raise my family. And then him not being a psycho. But, we'll see how it turns out. But like I was saying, that all having been said, even though I understand why some people would go, I don't really want to represent this guy, you know, with the Patreon logo whenever he's screaming about whatever person he's fantasizing about killing on that day. I think everyone should be just allowed to make their money, to say what they want openly, and for it to be just okay. To go, hey, just because I have a Patreon logo on, or, you know, I accept money there, doesn't mean they're endorsing me. And so all of these concern trolls, the cancel culture concern trolls that are out there, how would you allow this on their platform? You know damn well they don't actually care. Neither side does. It's just all for fucking lip service, for social media points. No one really cares whether or not anyone's banned. So just let everybody have their money, let everyone fling shit at each other, and everyone will have a good time. But it's all this Team Red versus Team Blue. We've got to, you know, oh, well, now we've got to do the same thing against you. Oh, we'll need to, it's just a bunch of fucking circle jerking, man. And I hate every second of it. No matter what side of the coin you fall on, I really dislike when people carry water for these corporations and go, oh, well, we're going to moderate for them, you know? Even Jared fucking Holt, speaking of hall monitors, Jared Holt went as far as to interview 8 of Cassandra Fairbanks' neighbors on whether or not Antifa actually broke her windows and blah, 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 blah. You know, heaven forbid you just research Ezra Levant or in Rebel Media. Instead, you have to go to the chick's house and, like, talk to her neighbors like a fucking weirdo. And for the record, I do think she's a grifter a little bit. I do kind of like Cassandra. She has good taste and stuff. But I was already thinking, like, oh man, she's kind of budding with a lot of fucking fakes, a lot of grifters. And then, oh, the GoFundMe was set up so she can move away. And oh, who set it up? Ezra from Rebel Media. Oh, here we go. So I hate to see it. Like, I hate to see it. I do. God damn, chat. I had a natural disaster. I never set up a goddamn GoFundMe. He gets a little bit spooked from a few people. I don't know, man. Call me a cynical prick. Call me what you like, but as soon as I saw Ezra in the picture, I said, oh, okay, here we go. Levant, you have to pay him to be interviewed. Yeah, I think you're probably right. And like I said, I don't really go hard against Cassandra because I like her. I think she has good taste in, like, music and stuff. And I do rather enjoy her takes on Twitter. But there's been a few times in the last year where I'm like, ooh, shady. Ooh, and I don't even think it's intentionally on her part. She doesn't come off as malicious to me. But man, I don't trust anyone on this fucking internet anymore, man. Present company excluded, chat. You guys are fucking amazing, as usual. One of these days, I'll give you my social and my mother's maiden name, you know? We'll get there. Have you seen BPS? He looks just like Ezra. Oh, I didn't know his face was out there. Yeah, where's Mark Henson at? Damn, dude. You got 127,000. Yeah, so Mark had asked me through a mutual acquaintance to reset his points because he wanted to see how quick he could get to 1 million. And by the way, all the clips here are only 100 points anyway. I am very generous with our fake currency here. But he's already at 1/8 of 1 million. Oh, it's from before he made the BPS channel. Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not necessarily a fan of BPS. I don't dislike him though. I don't really have an opinion on the guy. Well, I'll trust you when you put the noodle sound clip in. He's been noisy. I have a video I could clip out. I might have lost it, actually. I'll make another one. All I got to do is walk into the kitchen and fumble with her refrigerator. He becomes very, very chatty. The edgy, nihilistic attitudes people are having. I mean, I've always been a jaded, nihilistic bastard. I mean, I can be optimistic at times, but at my core, I'm pretty cynical. Let's see. So we talked about Aunt Jemima. Poor Aunt Jemima. Take a look at Gateway pundit Jim Hoft. Dirty Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard is under investigation for funneling $140,000 in Atlanta funds and to supplement his salary. So we got his salary on top of that. Paul L. Howard Jr. announced charges on Wednesday afternoon in the death of Rayshard Brooks last weekend at Wendy's restaurant in Atlanta. So those of you who haven't seen the clip of Rayshard Brooks fighting police officers, stealing their taser, you can see the moment where he pulls back and aims the taser at police. The guy he aimed it at clearly thought it was a gun. Probably in the heat of the moment just saw somebody pull back and point a fucking thing at him. Yeah, he shot him. And he should have. But, yeah, now this is the latest innocent black man gunned down racially by police. It's funny, we watched it on Davies' show the other night. I think the one from the morning. Which, by the way, for our first show, like, kind of official... I wouldn't say official, but the first kind of show we did together. You know, we've done a few other streams, but that was like our kind of, I guess, the place where you could start at the first episode. Going at 6 a.m. after I got off work, you know, a few hours after I got off work, we still managed to get like 358 people in there because we managed to be in sub feeds, and that was on his third channel, and I didn't advertise it at all. And then today, they took us out of the sub feeds, and I think we got to like 150. Just, it's weird how that thing, how that plays into everything. Did I see Ralph was on TV? I did. I think he was on like an ABC thing. He was commenting on the Super Bowl, right? That's what you're talking about? I did see that. Well done, bud. You made it to TV. The people's cat. It's been months. Sleeping, otherwise I'd try to get a nice meow out of her now. That's wacky police at it again. Well, you know, I guess this is what he meant. They gotta pay what they owe. DA Howard Jr. says officials spoke to 3 witnesses and reviewed 8 videos of the attempted arrest and shooting. I wonder if they saw the video where blacks are watching the video and saying if he was black, he'd be dead by now. He was black. So even the people who were watching it onwards made it a racial issue, and they were fucking wrong. The cops were very clearly trying not to shoot him because they didn't want to be a part of the next internet fucking outrage bullshit. The phony, as if any of these people would have hesitated to shoot that guy themselves. Put any of these fucking activists, these peaceful demonstrators, put any of them in that officer's shoes, you bet your ass they'd have gunned that guy down just as soon, if not sooner. He had like 7,000 views on that news interview. How many views did you get? You know, you've got me. Dead to rights. You got me. No, like right now, I don't even know how many people are here. I don't pay attention to how many viewers we get. When I'm on Davies' show, I have the screen brought up so I can see the stream, so I do see how many people are there. But typically, I don't pay attention to that sort of thing. I will say that the riot coverage was rather popular. I think we had like 500 on one of them. And I left those all public because I didn't feel like re-uploading 40 hours of riot footage after the fact. It was old news the next day anyway. But those were getting like, for streams to get like upwards to 6,000 to 8,000 views. It's not too bad. So I do think I could probably utilize a little bit of the knowledge I've attained over the years of doing this and probably try a little bit, and I would succeed more, very likely. But right now we're at the sweet spot. You know what I mean? Like, once you get to like 300-400 people, it's hard to really have a conversation with chat. It's hard to really keep in, recognize certain people, respond to certain things. People are talking in chat, so they might not even be talking to you. It's hard to keep track of all of that. The sweet spot to me is like 180 to like 230. Because for me, the chat moves at the right speed to where it plays perfectly with my lack of attention span. So I can talk for a minute, glance over at chat, glance back over this to the screen, go, okay, I've got 3 more things to check out, that sort of thing. But considering now that I have an ambition to get myself out of this hellhole, maybe it's time we give it the old college try. I mean, I've been no effort posting for a long time. Maybe give it a shot. I mean, I think we've done pretty well for somebody that's just done the show. That's what we've been doing. We just do the show. If you build it, they will come. But we also had $20 from TC. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. And SoCal Chris with $5. A long time no chat. Hope you're doing okay or doing well, bud. I'm doing very well. I won't go into detail, but I entered back into the workforce and I switched to a job that is a little bit more to my liking. And in general, I'm just feeling really good. I could go into detail, but things are just one of those days where things feel good. Just one of those days. Except it's one of those good days. Start an OnlyFans. Well, there you go. Well, I want to start an OnlyFeet. That's what I'm looking for. Alright. Back up. That. There we go. Yeah, Trump makes the dreams come true. You see, when Trump was talking about helping lower black unemployment, I didn't realize he was just going to send them to destroy all of the cities. Based Trump. When's the 24/7 channel programming happening? Man, if I lowered... See, I put no effort into promotion, but when I'm editing shit, I get really meticulous and try to make sure everything is right. Man, I've been getting quite the reality check on how much work goes into trying to make like fun, more effort content. I've typed up like 4 to 5 pages, maybe it's closer to 3 to 4 pages, but of a script to do the midnight news, and there's so much work ahead of me to finish the episode, and I'm way behind, and almost all the news is already old. Like I said, a reality check. It's a lot of work. So 24/7, man, just creating 30 minutes is a bit much. But I'm hoping with getting a lot of practice doing the midnight show or midnight news, the satirical news videos I've been doing, I'm hoping that I can become more comfortable doing longer form content. So that way, when I get around to completing my other longer projects, it'll come a little bit easier. I let go of the MAGA. Man, you know what? I never got my BBW. The real BBW. The one we want, chat. The big beautiful wall. I wanted to see that wall from outer space. I wanted to see a wall that made China's wall look like a fucking piece of shit. Toothpick bridge. And still, we don't have a fucking wall. We have a wall that's like an artist's representation of what a wall might look like. Oh, it's a prototype wall. What the fuck do you mean it's a prototype wall? Oh, it's just there so people can practice scaling it. That way when we finally put up the wall, they'll know how to get across it. MIGA, baby. Yeah, Chaz has a BBW. Well, I wouldn't... It's not an SS BBW. See, the thing is, the big beautiful wall to be seen from outer space has got to be a supersized big beautiful wall. I want that fucking thing invisible from Mars. You know what I mean? So we don't even have... They have a tiny BBW wall, like, oh, she is a little chubby. But no, I want, like, a fat fucking wall. Anyway. Short story here, an article on CNN Politics. CIA cyber weapons stolen in historic breach due to, quote, woefully lax security. The largest theft of data in CIA history happened because a specialized unit within the agency was so focused on building cyber weapons that an employee took advantage of quote, woefully lax security and gave secret hacking tools to WikiLeaks, according to an internal report released on Tuesday. The hacking tools stolen in the breach, which occurred in 2016, came from its clandestine Center of Cyber Intelligence. The amount of data stolen is unknown, the memo said, but it could be as much as 34 terabytes of data, the equivalent of 2.2 billion pages in text. Oh, great. Let's see, the theft was revealed around a year later in March 2017. So this is a 2020 article, but it's regarding an older security breach. In a damning admission, its authors write, quote, "We failed to recognize or act in a coordinated fashion on warning signs that a person or persons with access to CIA classified information posed as an unacceptable risk to national security. CIA works to incorporate best-in-class technologies to keep ahead and defend against ever-evolving threats." So blah, 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 blah. So good job. And then last here we have... final article I had pulled up. Former Bumblebee CEO going to prison for a scheme to fix tuna prices. Former CEO of Bumblebee Foods has been sentenced to more than 3 years in jail for his role in a canned tuna price-fixing conspiracy involving 3 major companies. Christopher Lizchiwisky was also ordered Tuesday to pay a $100,000 fine in addition to serving a 40-month term. Assistant Attorney General McCann Delaram said in a statement that the sentence will serve as a deterrent to wrongdoing at top corporate levels. He was quoted as saying, "Executives who cheat American consumers out of the benefits of competition will be brought to justice, particularly when their antitrust crimes affect the most basic necessity, food." Yeah, you know, as far as those other antitrust things, they don't seem to be very competent at making them answer for making life difficult for us. So this involved Chicken of the Sea. Oh, that's right where it ends. Okay. Bumblebee pleaded guilty and was sentenced to pay $25 million as a fine, and Starkis was fined $100 million. 3 executives who were charged, along with Liszczewski, pleaded guilty and testified at his trial. The scheme came to light after the failure of an attempt by Thai union groups Chicken to buy San Diego-based Bumblebee in 2015, according to court records. Chicken of the Sea executives then alerted federal investigators who agreed to shield the company from criminal prosecution in exchange for cooperation. The Justice Department said its San Francisco Antitrust Division and the FBI are continuing to investigate the packaged seafood industry and are seeking any information on anti-competitive conduct, including price fixing and bid rigging. There you have it, chat. There you have it. Scroll down to the nose. I don't know, man. Tell me. Take a look. That. I just am just now looking at my all of the notifications. There we go. Zoom, enhance. Yeah, hour 30. I think this is probably a good place to call it. Yeah. Tabs. Check a thing real quick. Poor Aunt Jemima. I'm still absolutely shocked. She deserved better, chat. She fed our family well for years. So charges have been dropped against this fella here. A shooting charge dropped against suspected New Mexico shooter. Ah, okay. We didn't watch this. What is it, 8 minutes? Play The Last of Us 2 on stream so we can make fun of it. I'm not entirely against that. I don't own that game and I have no plans on buying it, and I didn't like the first game. So, I know they force you to murder a dog, and then they have a flashback to the dog playing fetch with the NPC. Very, very bravery. Very stunning and brave. Such peak bravery.
Working class. All right, patreon.com/WDTL. Become a Patreon. It's the most reliable platform.
All right, I'll let this play. I'll be right back.
Won't kick me off, I don't think. I almost intentionally sometimes will force these people's hands. I think there's going to be a massive lawsuit down the line. I'm even thinking about suing Twitter. If there's some lawyers that have contacted me that want to do it for free, just to make a name for themselves. Today we're gonna talk about. Oh, my gain's a little high. Give me 1 second. Today we're gonna talk about Patreon, their hypocrisy, and the scandal from UConn when I said little kids aren't transies. Yeah, me and Amy had a great night last night because the stress was getting to us a little bit. The Patreon, the most recent domino to fall. It hasn't fallen yet though. So I recently got this message from Patreon, basically saying that their tweets you published and that have been removed from Twitter, yeah, because I've been permanently banned, perpetuate negative stereotypes concerning protected classes. That's a haunting label, protected classes. I'm specifically referencing your tweet concerning black people and AIDS. Hilarious tweet, by the way. Your recent Facebook post and live streams about Hollywood and rape survivors violates our guidelines. Patreon does not allow shaming private or public survivors of sexual assault. Where I talked about Louis C.K.'s allegations from girls I knew before he was shamed, and I was told I couldn't talk about those things. So Patreon is the bad guy. Patreon's defending the pedophiles. Okay, so then Patreon does not allow shaming private or public survivors of sexual assault. I understand you are aiming for shock value in your work. Whether or not shock value is the sole intent. Patreon draws the line at content containing hateful rhetoric and harassing sexual assault victims. No, I'm mocking the sexual assault that they endured. And how dare they speak on behalf of rape survivors? How do they know I'm not a rape survivor? Why would anyone assume they know anything about rape surviving? You may consider this as censorship. Of course I do. And be tempted to continue to act as a provocateur in defense of freedom of speech. Of course I will. I want to remind you that freedom of speech allows a platform such as Patreon to create a community with our own guidelines. These guidelines are designed to ensure that creators of all types can use Patreon effectively to build their creative business. Oh, by the way, lawsuits on the way, boys. If you choose to violate our guidelines again, your page will be removed. Thanks to our good friend Dave Rubin, who I was texting with yesterday about all this. Great human being.
Yeah, great human being. Did you guys know the left is absolutely insane? The left is crazy. So as he's violating the rules and getting emails for violating the rules, he's telling them he's already filing a lawsuit for getting banned. So even before, he's acting dishonestly here. And this will be brought up in the lawsuit. But again, I'm sure we'll hear from all of these, internet personalities about how this is good in the long run and how he'll totally win. Just like how they were right every other time. This was 2 years ago. Yeah, this is an older clip.
Dave Rubin is opening for Dr. Jordan Peterson, my personal hero. And here's the CEO of Patreon.
Personal hero.
Assuring everyone that all of these things are in our heads.
It's not in our content policy. Like what one particular paper says about a person or someone's opinion about a person, not in our content policy. You can't scale a system based on other people's opinions about people on your platform. That would be ineffective and just bad content policy. So no, I don't care who says what about you or anyone else. People are starting to, like, that Sam was worried about. One of the questions you asked me on the phone was like, hey, if I bring someone on the show that you guys don't agree with, like, is my show at risk? That's what kills me. If your content is anything like the content that you have been doing so far, it's not going to get deleted. It's just not something you'll have to worry about.
So what if I brought Lauren back on the show next week?
Great. You should bring Lauren back on the show. Like, you should have healthy dialogue with people about this. Right? I mean, anything else would be crazy.
Liar! 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 He lies. I just got kicked off Patreon. I kind of forgot I had Patreon. I still had money coming in from it, though. I didn't realize how much people were...
Oh, I totally forgot I had this Patreon, but don't you know that it was ruining my life if you banned me from it? I totally forgot that I even had it, so it's really important to me. Also, another thing that's probably going to bite him in the ass. And yes, I did think that's what you meant. He was planning this for 2 years. He's been planning this, meaning that he's not acting in good faith. He was trying to get banned the entire time so he could utilize the outrage that people would feel for him, honestly, because they would feel that he was wrongfully terminated, even though that's what he was intentionally trying to do. These people would feel bad, and they would try to help. And then look at how it has helped them. Look at all of the people who are sitting back at home with a stack full of legal papers and a fucking lawsuit, and they need to get a lawyer. They need to go to court, take time off work, all for Owen Benjamin. How thankful do you think he is? How much money do you think he's going to reimburse them? You think some of those coins he receives in the mail, he's going to maybe go to a Coinstar machine and send it to some of these people? I don't think so.
Please, please, please.
Well, let this play out.
Or still supporting me on Patreon, but this sodomite sent me this email from Trust and Safety, and they try and get people to live in this upside down world where you're supposed to embrace men fucking each other in the ass. Guys, me and my family are going to Spain tomorrow. Spain. Do I look like I'm getting crushed? Just told a friend I'm gonna go see what Owen is up to. First thing I heard is they're effing each other in the ass. Well, yeah, just to fill you in, I got kicked off Patreon today, and I had forgotten I had a Patreon. They were all high and mighty and all this stuff. It was like David from Trust and Safety. It's like, dude, you guys are fucked, not me. I forgot I had Patreon. I wrote back to the sodomite. I forgot I had Patreon. Have a great weekend. And it's that level of filth, that like mid-management sodomite, grabbler, pervert, trans.
Hold on. So I see Always Lost on Nothing Else says he's going to go to New Project 2. Now, do you think that perhaps that is why Nick is so careful and hesitant to talk about the Vox Day lawsuit? Do you think that perhaps that, again, I have my tinfoil hat always on, chat. Is it possible that these people had decided, hey, in a group chat or something, Owen Benjamin's crazy, but think of all the money we can make off of him and his audience. We should probably not do anything that would anger him or alienate him, because we want him to sign up for New Project 2. What are the chances, chat? Now, again, I am fully willing to admit that I've just become cynical. I might see pattern where things don't exist, right? Maybe I'm just connecting dots that don't really lead to anywhere. But I want to believe, chat. I believe, okay?
Gamma male, just bane of existence and civilization, right? Just these self-hating, human-hating, satanic, butt-fucking, cocaine-snorting retards
Projection.
that are sabotaging their own companies just to spite a giant legend. The Jews who like me, ironically, are the higher management. The executives of Patreon are probably like, what is happening to our country? What is happening to our company? And then the mid-level grabbler, sodomite, cocaine snorting, dick whacking, porn watching, Satan respecting, psycho, baby murdering,
Jesus
blasphemous
Christ.
little piece of shit.
I don't think Patreon's murdering any babies, Owen. Like, you know, I'm pretty woke on conspiracy theories, I like to think. And I know a lot of the lore. Even in the allegations and the unproven shit. Never seen... Hey, you know, Bohemian Grove, did you guys see Jack Conte and Patreon? They had a booth set up and everything. Come on. Really just trying to appeal to the craziest people out there. And this is years ago. He's gotten crazier since then. Okay, well, that's enough. I know, I've had enough. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this guy. You know, he really loves to think about demonic worship and just sodomy. I've never seen somebody with so much sodomy on his mind than Owen Benjamin. He's fucking weird, man. Yeah, well, the people at the Grove need their patrons, that's for sure. Who's JF yelling at in the JF clip? I forget. I don't even know. Don't forget to love Israel today. Well, I love Israel every day, but I make sure to clap every day for the NHS. 8 o'clock every day. Yeah, who knows what he really meant. I mean, he's an entertaining guy, I guess. Just needs to lay off the turpentine a little. Just a little. Yeah. What was it I was... I can't... Right, this is a guitar stream. You see, I drank earlier. I shouldn't be drinking... I shouldn't be playing guitar now. How's the album and the book? I have not made progress on either. I spent yesterday pretty much doing nothing. And then today... there was a reason... there is a good reason, but I couldn't stay prepared to have to leave on a whim. So what I did spend most of my weekend doing was typing up this script for Midnight News 4. Most of the news on there is going to be a few days old when it gets there, but you know, you live and you learn. Your Mama JF voice? I don't even know what that voice is, man. Let's see. What can we face out with? Vox Day proven contact fighter. Could fight anybody over the age of 15. I love that clip. No. Let's play this one. Let's just go ahead and play this. Overlay. Yes, with that
That's not true. Matter of fact, that's not true. That's not true. Why? You piece of shit. Motherfucker. It's not true. Piece of shit. Every person you project to why is every person you project to defending such a what are we defending? Why is everybody from you project to defending you? Why is everybody from you project to defending you? You lose-ass, cleft, cock-tainted motherfucker!
You're not even. You just said. Listen, I'll talk calmly for you.
That's not true. Matter of fact.
I love how it loops too. That people are saying, "What is this?" That, sir, is internet blood sports. What we call sports entertainment. Motherfuckers lit. Good stuff. What was this? It would take a little. I added in a voice, so that's not the original version of unfortunately. Where else? This one's great. I think you guys would appreciate it. The Chopin really ties it together. As a matter of fact, no, it's not true. That's not true. Now that would explain. And let's see. Play the bump that I made, bump trailer intro, whatever you want. Made this for the streams Dave and I might do. And by the way, I should bring, for whenever Davey shows up, I did make him his own. I'll just relabel it guest too if I have anyone call in, but they have their own voice meter on screen, and then a nice little logo. I need to put a GIF behind it as well, but got that all set up. But this is the trailer, sort of a working title anyway. Midnight Crockpot. I'm, of course, represented on the right there. A real fabulous dancer. Not as good as Richard Spencer, though. That guy, look at him. Look at him go. He was thinking about James Bond. He was swept away. Swept away. Winty, welcome. That's got a nice chill vibe to it. I also threw this together. I did play it at the beginning.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon, order, a new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we will crown its king.
I am so proud.
I do like that one. I've made a few of these. The Mentos one is too good. I think I'd love to play that again, even though I played it at the beginning. But I think I already, yeah. We watched the Today an Internet drama graphic. I'll go. It's a short one, so I'll play that one again.
About like the universe and politics. What the fuck is the matter with you, man? Do you even watch this show? Don't you want to have deep conversations with your wife? Yeah, I can definitely imagine that. Me and a female.
I know, I'm in disbelief too, chat. Can you imagine Nick Fuentes with a female? Press 1 if you cannot imagine Nick Fuentes with a female. Press 1 if you find it just as funny as Nick Fuentes does. The idea that he'd be hanging out with a female, discussing things. You know, it's crazy. Call me insane. But when I'm talking to a woman, I just treat her like a person. I'm just cool. I treat her cool. Hey, how's it going? Nice. Oh man, do you hear about this? Small talk. I just treat her like a human being. Not even trying to bang every chick I meet, but it's called common courtesy, I guess. And sometimes when you initiate small talk with somebody, you get into politics, or maybe what they're watching on fucking Netflix right now. It's laughable to have a conversation with a woman, chat. Don't you know? Seas of ones, Nick. Seas of ones. They think it's just as absurd as you do.
So, honey, what do you think about impeachment?
I don't know, Sam. I don't know what a woman is because everyone on the internet's a man. That is rule number 1. Rule number 1. Mr. Hyde. You know what? Might as well. This is the perfect way to end out, I think. Wow.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. Take it easy, you are full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool.
Stay fresh, chat.
You are full of life. Just 'cause a day is a day, it doesn't mean it's okay. There's always trouble in your life. Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better.
It's the original Mentos song. And I believe it is not in the copyright system. So I felt like we could utilize it for some fun. Don't you just already feel like you're in a better mood? Stay fresh, chat. Stay fresh.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. Take it easy, you are full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. Take it easy, you are full of life. 'Cause a day is a day, it doesn't mean it's okay. There's always trouble in your life. Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Easy when you're full of life. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ah.
Heavy clouds in the sky, tears are filling your eyes. It's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life. Fresh goes better, fresh goes better. Fresh goes better, it's easy when you're full of life.
All right. Stay fresh, chat. Stay fresh. I did see somebody say I've been leaning on this joke a little too hard. Well, we haven't played any Mentos songs for a minute, and I just came across the extended original version of the song, so I made a little compilation for it. Just editing in all the Mentos clips I had. So I won't play that all the time, but this is the first stream since I made it, so I decided to play it a second time at the end. I won't play it all the time. Should add a dancing baked Alaska. I really should.
I am so proud.
All right. From there, I think it's a good place to call it for the night. So Really? Damn, yeah, Mark Hansen, I see 640,000. If I didn't have things I wanted to do, I would keep this going just so you could get it in one stream, but you'll probably get it in the next one. But I'll go ahead and roll those sweet, sweet credits. There we go. Did I even get the date right? I do believe I did. So thank you everybody for showing up to the midnight show. Remember, be yourself, because you might find yourself by yourself, and anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise guy like yourself to learn from the mistakes made by others. And also, chat, remember, it is always midnight somewhere. Stay fresh, chat. Stay fresh.